Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know I'm like wearing literally the same jacket in the last like 4 videos, but I've been recording like short videos so that way I have them on my phone, and because it's easier for me to do like a bunch of videos in one night and then put them out every day of the week. So that's what I do. And I just, I'll do the video that night and then I'll put it on the next day. So whatever. So anyways, this is the topic. The topic of this story is the day I almost died. The day I almost died. So I went to work that morning, and I think I worked till like noon or 1 o'clock. Got home, and my mom was like, come over to hang out. So I was like, okay. So I went upstairs and I was going to take a shower and get dressed. But at the time we had a hamster and I didn't know I was allergic to them. So I literally was like, okay, picking my clothes out. I put them in my bathroom. This is when I lived in my other apartment. I lived in a duplex. So I got all my clothes out. I put them on the shelf. Well, I put them on the sink. I'm sorry. The part of the sink, I put it there. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to shower. But first, I was telling my fiance he needs to clean the hamster's cage. He's like, I will get to it, don't touch it. So, because he knew I was allergic. So I literally was like, well, he's not going to do it. I'm going to do it. So I literally took the bag, and I had like this black bag, and we had a fish tank about this big. And I took the hamster, I put him in his bowl, and I let him run around in the house, in our bedroom, on the track. So I literally picked the cage up and I threw it this way and dumped it towards me. And when I dumped it towards me into the bag, the dust went into my nose, in my mouth, in my lungs, and I was like, okay, I'm having a little asthma issue here going on. Didn't know much that, I never went through anaphylactic. I never dealt with it before. And I was calling down to my husband, my fiance. I said, babe, I need my nebulizer, because at the time I didn't have my asthma pump. At the time I didn't have insurance. So basically I was just dealing with what I had. Like I had an asthma pump, but I only had like a little bit left, and my doctor used to give me samples. So I was basically ran out. Now I keep one on me, and I have insurance. But anyway, so I have epinephrine. So anyway, so then I had no asthma pump. So I said to my fiance, go get my nebulizer from the car. I'm having trouble breathing. So I hooked myself up to the nebulizer, and I couldn't get any air in. It was like somebody was closing off my lungs. I was getting freaking out right now. So I yelled for my fiance, and I was sweating, and I was feeling terrible. And I knew I was having an anxiety attack with it, because I knew I have panic attacks, I have anxiety attacks. I knew I was starting to go into an anxiety attack. Now I can't breathe, and I'm going into an anxiety attack. I'm screaming downstairs, call 911. My fiance said, what's the matter? I said, I can't breathe. He's like, well, use your nebulizer. I said, I can't get any air in my lungs. So he dialed 911. I was getting sweat flushing. My face was turning white. I don't even know. So my fiance called 911, and I literally tried to get downstairs, and I was leaning over a chair as far as I can remember. I can remember like all of it except for like later on I'll tell you what happened. So laying over a chair, they tell you to like lean down when you're having it, like to bend over kind of, and like lean over and try to breathe, inhale, and I couldn't, and I was panicking too. So it was making everything worse, and I didn't know what was going on, because here I am, I've had pets my whole life. I never had an allergic reaction to anything like this before. So I'm like, why is this happening? So I lean over the chair, and I'm trying to, like, the fan is like right there. So like I have the fan going in my face, and I'm leaning over the chair. I can't breathe. I said, oh my God, when is the ambulance going to get here? Please, God, don't make me die today. I said, I feel like I'm on my last breath, and I'm not going to be able to, I'm going to die. I felt like I was going to die. So I said, this isn't helping. I sat down on the couch. That didn't help at all. Got up. I went outside, and I said, maybe if I get some air, I know it was hot out, but maybe if I get some fresh air, I can start to breathe better, and my anxiety will calm down. Well, I went outside, and because it was so damn hot out, that I literally gripped onto the house. I remember gripping onto the house, screaming, "Somebody help me, I'm gonna die. Like, I can't breathe." I'm screaming, I'm crying, I'm freaking out. My neighbor came over, he said, "I'm a firefighter. I'm a volunteer firefighter. What is going on?" And I told him kind of quickly what was going on. And he screamed to his son, "Get a chair, get a chair. Ma'am, you need to calm down." I said, I can't breathe. My lungs weren't getting oxygen. So, now, up to this point, I'm remembering everything. And then the last thing I can see is that ambulance. There's a green ambulance, and it pulls in my driveway. And that was the last thing I remember. I went out after that. I could not figure out what was going on. I could hear and kind of see bits and pieces. Like, I remember my fiance, he, like, freaking out, and he was walking. Like, he didn't know what to do. They were working on me for a while, and I came to. After a while, I heard the guy say, "Mary, come back to us. Mary, come back to us." And I finally came back, and I opened my eyes, and I couldn't be more happier to be alive. Like, I was so freaked out. And I'm like, wait, why is there blood all over me? Why is there like 30 people standing in my driveway just looking at me? And I was like, I didn't know what happened. Like, I knew that I had an asthma attack, and really, really bad. So they're putting me on a stretcher, and they're putting me in the ambulance. Now I'm hooked up to oxygen and everything, and I'm back too, and I'm like freaking out because I didn't know what was going on. And I'm going, why is there blood all over me, and why am I going in an ambulance? I told the guy, I don't want to go to the hospital. He's like, you have to, man. You almost died. You basically died in front, like, on your lawn. Like, you have to go to the hospital. And I was like, no, I had an asthma attack. Like, I'm fine. And he was like, no, we need to bring you to the hospital. I was like, okay, whatever. So with the oxygen on and everything, and I had that thing on my face, like, pumping air into my lungs, they literally said, like, my oxygen had gone to, like, a 68. And if it went any lower, that they would have to do an emergency tracheotomy, like, right there on my front stairs. So I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad it didn't do that. And then I got to the hospital. They take me in the ambulance, and I remember just like vividly, I remember things like we're driving to the hospital, and then I get there, and they still have me hooked up to stuff, and like all the oxygen, the breathing, like the machines are like breathing for me basically, because at this point I still wasn't out of it. So then the doctor comes in, and they're like working on me, and like the doctor comes in, and it's like, he's like, no, I was asking the ambulance driver, I'm like, why is there blood all over me? I'm so confused. He's like, ma'am, you went into fight or flight mode, and I was ripping out my IVs. Like, they were trying to put one in, and I would rip it. They were telling me, my fiance told her, he said, you were ripping your IVs out, and they had your head tented with this thing, trying to bring you back to life. And I don't know, it was so much to handle. So I literally went to the hospital. And then my mom came by, like, to the hospital to pick me up. Or she came by to see me. And this was, like, before COVID. So, like, the hospitals weren't shut down. And she's like, are you okay? Oh, my God. Like, she's freaking out. I'm like, Mom, I'm fine. Like, I had just a simple, like, asthma attack. Like, and I didn't want to frighten her any more than she was. So I just said, yeah, I had an asthma attack. Now, the doctor was like, oh, you need to stay overnight. Like, we need to monitor you. And I said, why? Like, I'm fine. He's like, when you came in here, you couldn't even breathe on your own. And I was like, wow, that's scary. Like, I didn't know that. So he was like, well, because you can literally, I didn't know that when you go get a really bad allergic reaction, that you can actually, 4 hours later, you can go into it again. And that's why he was telling me, like, if you leave, you can possibly die. Like, it could come back, and then you could die from it. So I didn't know what to do. And then I was like, well, my mom lives, like, literally the ambulance is, like, right up from her house. So I'm going to her house. I told the guy, and I'm going to stay there. And he's like, okay, well, you're the situation, and you could die. And I was like, please don't tell me that. Like, I died on my front lawn. Almost. Like, I don't want to hear this. So then he basically released me, and against his word. So I signed myself out, basically, and I went home. And then, like, I was feeling really just, like, messed up after that. And ever since then, I've had, like, really bad anxiety when it's hot out. Or, like, if I'm around animals, I can't go around animals anymore. Like, I have cats, so I'm okay with those, but like other creatures like hamsters and anything with like that pine bedding or any kind of bedding, just because of the dander I'm allergic to. I have a level 4 allergy, anaphylactic for me, because I had allergy testing done. So, but that I'll do in another video too. So anyway, so yep, that is the story on how I almost died. And if you want to see more of these videos, like, comment down below what kind of videos you want to see, and subscribe. It's free for you, and it helps me. Have a great night.